Boom. Boom shakalaka. All right. So we are live on other studios. We are going to be unboxing the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K-S today. So we are live on pretty much all platforms. We are live. Let me turn this down. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Twitter. We are live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok. Pretty much anywhere you can think of. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Anywhere. So we'll give it a couple minutes to let some people in here, and we'll get some stuff on the roll. What's up, buddy? So for those who are joining, we are unboxing the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K-S. This is Phrozen's new budget printer. Now, I do have the 8K, which is the standard for high resolution, and it's been a pretty good machine. I personally don't really have a need for smaller machines, but this one kind of piqued my interest because, as most people know, I usually have links to purchase the Anycubic Photon Mono 4K, which is a great starter printer. And for a similar price, you can basically get this thing with a wash and cure from Phrozen for a similar price. So, buddy, how are you tonight? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Glad you made it back to the basement. Yeah. So, let's see. On the way back home, so on the way there, I drove all the way to South Carolina. It's about 16-hour drive with stops and whatnot, and pretty much the same on the way back. But I'd say probably about an hour after I met up with you, I told my wife, all right, we're going to switch some spots. I'm going to pass out for about an hour or so. And I did. It was about an hour and a half, 2-hour nap. And then I drove the rest of the way home. So what's up, Mike? How's it going? I'm finishing my my regular Mexican Cokes. I got to put the other ones in the fridge. My wife came downstairs and she's like, what are we going to do with all these Cokes? I'm like, put them in the fridge. So we're going to give it about 5 minutes. We'll start the actual stream here at 9:30. We'll just do some chit-chatting here. I did, since I just got back from a vacation to South Carolina. So I usually don't buy anything when I'm on a vacation ever, just for the fact that I don't see that I can put it up anywhere, really. Like, that's one of my biggest things. I almost have like a anti collectors thing. Like, I can only keep things for so long. It's kind of like an anti-hoarding type thing that I have, like a phobia almost, I guess you can call it. I hate holding on to things that I don't need, that I don't use. So it's like, if I don't use it in a certain amount of time, I don't like to have it or keep it around. But this one, I decided, we'll probably use this. So I got a new kniff from the boardwalk in South Carolina. So this is a really, really nice one. It is an OTF blade. So that stands for out the front, for those who are unfamiliar what that stands for, the OTF acronym. So what's up? I just got the Ender 3 S1 Pro. Have you had any experience with it? Sorry to be off topic. No, it's perfectly fine. We're here to talk about pretty much anything printer related. I would like to try and stay on topic of Phrozen, but that never ever happens on my streams. So S1 Pro, they're pretty much all the same. I actually have that upstairs to do a review on. So I personally have not touched it, but essentially all the Ender 3s are the same. The S1 Pro has some slight upgrades. It's got the Sprite extruder. I think it's got a flex plate on it. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked into it even, but yeah, it's seems like a pretty good printer. It's just kind of like a fully upgraded Ender 3 in a sense, but on a cheaper budget. So we'll see. I think it'll be okay. So what's the acronym again? OTF. out the front. So, hello, Resin God. What's up? So, for some of you, I don't see your names. I'd have to pull it up on my Facebook group because you have to like click out of the stream, and right above it, you allow StreamYards to like show your name essentially. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I can just open up the stream right here and go in there. It's no biggie. So let's see. There we are. Okay, so we got Sammy. What's up? Lydia, how's it going? Christopher Lannon, how's it going, man? So let's put you guys in here. Here. Okay, so now we got everything situated for that. And that way I can see chat. Okay, so that's good. Glad you pulled over rather than trying to keep driving. No, I would never do that. Once I start feeling like a little tipsy, like not tipsy, but like once I start feeling a little bit tired, I'll tell my wife, I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop here, or we'll stop at a rest stop, even stop on the side of the road, and we'll do a quick swap. But I'm pretty good. Like I'm a power napper. So if I get a half hour in, I can probably good for at least 8 hours. So yeah. You got Mexican Cokes down here? Yes, I do. Yeah. And actually, Miguel from TikTok sent me a whole bunch of Mexican Cokes from Mexico directly. And they're the liter bottles. So they're the big boys. And unfortunately, UPS destroyed them in transit, then repackaged them, delayed the transit. As soon as I saw it was delayed, I knew what was happening because, well, I used to work for UPS, so I know the whole drill. Yeah. It's me, it's Sammy. So yeah, I counted it out. He originally sent me 24 Cokes, some chips and some candy, but it ended up only arriving as 17 Cokes. So I basically told him that he should probably put in a report for that because that's some BS that UPS kind of gypped me out of what I was supposed to get. Not that it's Miguel's fault or anything, but still kind of shady. So I'm still going to hold up my end of the bargain. It's no biggie. Switchblade minus the switch unless it does have assist, because you can get them. No, so it does not switch up. It is a OTF, so it just pops out. It is like a Jack in the Box almost. What's up, John? How's it going? All right, so let me check chat here really quick. Make sure I'm not hitting everybody. You have the S1? Okay, how is it, Luna? I really dislike UPS. They just toss the package at my door and run. To be on all honesty, I've worked for everybody but DHL in terms of shipping. I've been in the shipping industry for quite some time, and everybody handles your packages terribly. There's no good, no bad. Everybody handles it equally. So if you think one is better than the other, probably isn't. Why is this not showing up? There we go. Casper, how's it going? All right, so without further ado, let's open this up. This is my new fancy little thingamajigger, and we'll get this bad boy opened up. I gotta get used to this blade because it's like super thick. I do have another knife that's much thinner that I like because it flows nicer. Whereas this thing is beefy. It is a very heavy blade. So, boom, I love that. I always had a thing for OTF, and I was always like, I want them, but they're very expensive. And this one was only like $60. So I'm like, even if it breaks after a handful of times, it was well worth it. And I don't really think it will. It seems like it's a pretty resilient blade or kniff. So Ace Ventura delivered your package. So that was funny. So when I worked at UPS, I actually had a picture of HDS, and it was Ace Ventura kicking the package. I had it in my cubicle. So it was funny. Yeah, but if it pops up with a button, it's considered assisted OTF or switch. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, it is. It is not. So Cobra Tech? No, it's some knockoff. It is not. I would really like a Microtech Swiss knife. They have some really, really nice blades, and I don't know how theirs is weighted, but this is very, very heavy. This OTF. So, hey, what's up? How's it going, man? You would think that last package I was to receive went to neighbor 2 blocks away. Awesome. Anyone used Hero Forge? No, but I'm sure you'll see a lot of it. A lot of people are already talking about it. I've known about it for quite some time. I just was never really big into the whole multicolor or lithophane style stuff. But since I have a bamboo, that might be more better for me. Do I think it's going to take off like everybody thinks it's going to be? I really don't think so. It's got a very, very specific thing about it, and I don't, unless you're doing like your own art, I don't see it being beneficial, to be honest. So you do know in Illinois you need a FOID to own it? Really? Oh, because after X amount of size, I believe. I'll have to check with my father. He's a police officer, so he would know. Got 2 decent cuts on my palm and a scratch for my wrist for my elbow. I don't think so, and you can only go so many layers. I got the software. Okay, cool. What's up, quality? How's it going? All right. So, without further ado, let's see how we're gonna do this. We'll do it the good old way on my lap, because I want to set it up on my little table here. All right, so packaging is very, very well. We have our foam here, and pretty much this is it in all of its glory right here. I don't know how I exactly feel about the switch from their typical like orange coloring hoods. So for those who are not in TikTok land, I have the Phrozen printer, the Mini 8K. This is the 8KS. This is their new budget one. So essentially it's high resolution, but on a budget. So it has some cheaper parts on it. And my only concern is how good is it prints? Is it going to be just as good as the 8K? And if so, well, what's the point of having the 8K when the 8KS is most likely going to sell much, much better? But either way, I'm not so sure about these new hoods. I don't think that they're very good at blocking UV. I do like the coloring of them, though, because it makes them very, very unique. But I also know Phrozen as being like the orange hood. So, what's up, Evie? Nope, not length, really. Huh. I know that was a couple of years ago because I almost got expelled in school for carrying a knife. All right, let's take this out this way. So it's not very heavy. It's very, very small. I mean, it's pretty much a one and done. You open it up and it's good to go. Pretty much it. Let me just check chat here really quick. New toy? Yes. Newer toy, I should say. Technically, I already have one. I have the Mini 8K. This is the Mini 8KS. This is Frozen's new budget printer. So, is it the same form factor as the Mini 8K? Yes. This is basically the same thing. If you want, I can do a side-by-side. I might have to find another dinner table, which I don't think I have my other one down here anymore. But I could do a side-by-side if I want to. But essentially, they look pretty much identical. Maybe the base is a bit smaller. But in terms of like build plate, I know it's exactly the same. I haven't really looked at specs at all. So expelled in school, know how it was a couple years ago, sir. That's more than a couple. Yeah, it was definitely more than a couple years ago. That was like over like 30 years ago. Anyway, they do package it very, very well. Let's see, can we get at this from the bottom? It's all up top. I should have kept them out. All right. And there we have it. Let's check chat before we go on. Will I be seeing anyone here at Murph? Yes, you will be seeing me at Murph. I will most likely be with Creality at Murph. I am doing some special stuff with them. I have a conference call with them tomorrow just to go through everything and verify everything. There is an after party on Sunday for Creality. Yes, it is official stuff. Yes, I will be officially working with Creality. I know that's like a shocking statement to a lot of people, but I will be officially working with Creality. And I will be, there's an after party on Sunday. I have to confirm the times and everything, but yeah, and I have to confirm exactly where it is. But there is an after party for on Sunday for Creality. So yes, thank you. It was something that was just kind of tossed into my lap, to be honest, and I was like, you know what, sure, I'll help out. So because they will be actually there. Creality will be there. They will have a booth. They will be promoting, obviously, the new K1 and the K1 Max and the Hallets, the Hallet Mages and whatnot. So so they will be there. So just be aware that Creality will be at Murph. I should probably really invest in a better table, something that like my ideal situation would be something that slides out from here, but the problem is that takes up space on the bottom there, and I need all the space I can get. So, but once I get my other the microwave resin printer back, I call it the microwave because, well, it looks like a microwave. Once I get that big printer, I think I'm going to move the bigger printers down here and move the smaller ones up here. So, all right. Take the top off. Take that out. Can we do this? So, looks like the same type of build plate. I don't know if I really want to remove this because I think I got a print on there from last night. Double check. Yeah, I got a print on there. Failed print, actually. I thought you didn't have room for more printers. I really don't. Prusa guys at Remurf wouldn't let me get their MK4. That's unfortunate. What number resin printer is this? So I've actually toned down a little bit on resin printers, but as of right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 resin printers? Yeah. So we're down to 12 resin printers. So we're getting down. We're getting down. So, what's up, Craig? How's it going? We are unboxing the Phrozen 8K Mini S. I meant to do this about a week and a half ago, but, well, actually about 2 weeks ago now. I've had it in my possession, but then I got sick. Then I went on vacation, and now I'm back, so now I'm trying to catch up on everything. So, we have our box of parts here, most likely. I'm guessing this is all of the power supply and everything. We'll take a look at that in a second. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, it looks like form factor is the same as the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K. So you like? I like myself. Is there something on the bottom here? Yes, there is. So yeah, it looks like similar design. Let's take a look here. So the big difference between the Mini 8KS and the Mini 8K is really in terms of stability. Now, is it going to impact the printing? I have no idea. I will have to check on that. But so far from other people who have had this unit, I would say no, that's not the case. I've seen actually pretty good results off of this printer. So the big difference between the Mini 8K and the 8KS, this machine, is the 8K has a dual linear rail setup. So that means it has two linear rails that ride up along here. Whereas this one just has a single linear rail. So single Z-rod, single linear rail. That has a single Z-rod and a dual linear rail. Looks like the build plate is pretty much the same. There is some slight groove improvements on here for like handling, but that's really the only difference between it. The design is almost identical to it besides that. They went with more of like a chrome finish on this. I mean, it's not really needed, but hey, you know, they want to make it look nice. That's fine. Looks like everything else is pretty much the same. The Z trigger is a little bit lower on this unit. The base looks to be the same. This might be a little bit more of a compact size, just slightly, not much. The VAT looks to be very similar. I want to say it's about the same. And the other difference, obviously, in this is the screen is slightly different than it. So while they're both 8K resolution, I believe they both produce 22 microns of resolution, which is like the almost insane resolution on the market, or at least it was up until about a couple months ago when the new ones started coming out from Anycubic and Creality and Elegoo. But these are still very, very good printers. I think Phrozen is probably the higher quality printer out of those, out of like the three main brands, Elegoo, Anycubic, and then Phrozen. In my opinion, it would go at Elegoo, Anycubic, and Phrozen if I were to rate them, 3, 2, 1 from best to worst, or worst to best, actually. That would probably be in my opinion, but that might just be me. I'm more of a fanboy of the Phrozen products. I've always have been. They make way cooler stuff. So, but that might just be me. That's cool. That's cool. You have to have so many printers. It's like my collection of SBC. Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, I used to have a lot of SBCs as well. I don't have as many anymore. I still have an Odroid. I have a couple Raspberry Pi Zeros and Zero 2. And I have a couple. I still have a Pine or a Rock 64 that I meant to work on, but I never got around to it. So, okay. So, swag out. Yeah. So, in my opinion, if you're looking for a good printer, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to get my hands on this printer, because as you guys know, I usually promote the Anycubic Mono 4K when it comes to budget printers and getting into resin printers. But with this being on the market, It's a higher resolution. It's going to be a better quality machine, in my opinion. And you can get it for around the same price, even with their wash and cure. It's going to be a similar price. So, all right. So in the box, we have their USB drive. I'm not a big fan of these. I usually swap them out for my SanDisk ones. That's kind of weird because usually Phrozen does include SanDisk or SanDisk style USB drive. So this is, I think, a first that I've seen this type of USB drive. We have our after sales service and warranty. We have Picks-Up. So this is a new type of STL thing that they are doing. I was part of their, I guess, kind of promotion, but I never really promoted it because I don't really do that type of thing. But if you guys are looking for another place, Picks-Up, Pixup. That is basically another site to download like miniatures. I think they more or less focus on. At least that's what they were when I was starting to do it. We have a cool Frozen sticker. We have a red and a black, my favorite colors. We have a 80 grit sandpaper. So if you have any adhesion problems, you can scuff up the build plate. It's always nice that they include that. A lot of companies do not. We have our strainer, which a lot of companies do not include, or they include paper ones. They actually include a plastic one with some small gloves. So we'll probably end up using those gloves tonight and just getting rid of them because I use Venom gloves. They're probably the best gloves around. We have a little miniature scraper. So this is actually much smaller than my other ones. So here's a normal scraper. Here's this one. So it's a little bit smaller on it. Not super small, but it just seems a lot smaller. Then we have their Frozen branded scraper, which these are beefy scrapers. These are really, really nice. I'll have to check this out because this one looks like it's got a nice edge on it. That's the one downfall of these is while they're nice scrapers, they're not the greatest for initial removal. If you're using it on a big machine is what I mean. On a small machine, it might be okay, but the problem is they're too thick. So they need like a very super thin edge in order to get underneath there and get it all situated. So this one actually looks really, really nice. So I might have to use that one. So nice garage. Yeah, no, this is my basement. So okay, so they went back to the old power supply. So we might have to rearrange some things really quick. So with the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K here, they do have your typical power brick. It's like a laptop power brick that has the PC power cord, the 3-prong. Whereas these ones, this is kind of going back to the old school days of Frozen when I first started getting into Frozen with the Mini and the original Sonic. So the Frozen Sonic and the Frozen Sonic, the Frozen Sonic Mini and then the Frozen Sonic Mini 4K. They actually had these little power adapters that you usually don't see anymore. But that just tells you that, this only runs off 24 volts at 2 amps. So this doesn't take much power at all. So we might have to actually do a swap-a-roo with the Mini 8K just so I can put it up there and get it printing. Because I don't have enough cord to stretch that back into my area, at least not right now while we're doing this live. So thank God I didn't set up my power supply because I was kind of expecting that. Daniel, how's it going? I know you're in India. I was just going to ask, how's India? Still have the Renegade Labs Baseboard Zero. I still have my Renegade Labs Raspberry Pi there. I will chat with you one day. Just drop in to see printers and say hi. All right, Chuck. Thanks for sticking around and chatting, bud. Yeah, I have the Akuma Mods edition. Hello, I just got a longer 10 resin printer. How do I improve the print quality? To be in all honesty, the print quality is just okay on those. They're meant to be really, really low-end printers. However, linked in my bio on TikTok here, there is a Frozen XP Finder. Look for that. Go ahead and print it off. And you can message me again, anything linked in my bio, my email address. Facebook is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Message me a picture of the results, print it at 2.5 seconds for normal exposure, and then print it at 30 for the bottom exposure, and run a test print with your resin. Send me a picture, and I'll teach you how to read that exposure test. And basically, you have to do that with each and every resin. So it's great. A lot of similarities as far as stores and stuff. TikTok is banned here, though. Wow. That's very interesting. I'm surprised. All right. So let's do a slight comparison here between hoods. So this is your typical hood that you would see on the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K. So let's see, in terms of form factor, it's identical. Same exact build. So old hood, new hoods. Kind of cool. It reminds me of the like old Legos. All right, thanks. Will do. Yeah, anytime. I'm always here. So no matter what, if you have trouble with your resin printer, just message me. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'm always around. I might not get back to you right away, but I'll definitely get back to you sometime that day. Unless I'm doing something, like this weekend might be a little crazy because I will be at Murph and I will be with Creality most of the weekend doing promotion for their stuff. So, all right. Let's take off all of this lovely stretch. And, if you want to keep your hoods nice and clean, you don't necessarily have to take all this stuff off. That's completely up to you. I just, I have a thing about that. I really dig the color of this hood. I really do. So, what's up, Henry? How's it going? See you at Murph. Awesome. I was going to say, yeah. I want to get a new one. Just have to save because I live off VA disability and Social Security. No, that's perfectly fine. I'll be honest. The longer 10 should produce fairly good prints. It's still going to produce better prints than an FDM printer will. At least most of the FDM printers in its price range. It'll produce better prints stock for stock. So you're still going to get good prints off of the longer orange. You just need to properly tune it. That's really the major thing, because that's going to tell you if you underexpose it, you're going to lose detail. If you overexpose it, you're going to blend in the detail. So the detail will be gone, but it'll actually like if I have chest muscles here, if I overexpose it, it's basically going to go like this, and it'll still look like I have chest muscles, but they won't necessarily be there, or they won't be as predominant, separated and stuff. So that's what it does. Whereas underexposed, it's you're missing part of that. So if I have to have something like this, underexposing might be like that. So again, they might be there, but it's a little bit soft, I guess you can call it. So that's why properly tuning resin is really, really important. And for me, I usually dial it in within a certain spec. I don't go super crazy and dial it truly in. I just don't have the time to do that. I love that analogy. Thank you. So yeah, that's essentially, you can dial it in even more, but I basically dial it in within half a second, essentially. So, all right. So without further ado, let's see if we can try and get this plugged in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but we'll try our best to get it in here. Might have to move this over a little. Move this over here. Let's see. Nope. I'm going to Dang it. Nope. We're going to have to move the Mini 8K out of the way. Out with the old and with the new, even though they're really the same. All right. So let me see if I can try and put these next to each other. I don't think that's really going to happen, but we'll try to. So just for a kind of a perspective thing, I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't have my other camera plugged in here, but essentially they're the same printer. This one's just more blacked out than this one. It's murdered out. And again, the dual Z, dual linear rails versus a single linear rail. That's the major difference between them. But they are both 8K resolution. They're both good. So, all right. So let's get this over here. Just had the power supply. What did I do with it? Where do you go? It's right in front of me. Do. Where do you go? I wanna know. Oh, well, I wanna know. All right. So maybe we'll plug in the other camera so you guys can see what's going on here. And that way, there we go. Do that. Don't want to knock you over. So, and he disappeared into the wind. Will be missed. I was going to say. All right, let's go ahead and put our Logitech on there. Oops, that's not far enough. There we go. Maybe I'll move TikTok over here as well. With my settings, I can still beat any FDM printer. So let's bring this up over here. There you go. Take this out of the background, and there we go. All right. So we're going to turn it on. We got power. Oh, we're turning that off. I hate the beeping sound. I hate it. All right. So same interface as the Mini 8K. Let me move TikTok over here as well. This USB's got to go over here. So let's move that. Let's move that. I got too much resin everywhere. Too many things to print. Not enough time. There we go. All right, let's bring TikTok over here. And we'll flip the camera around for you guys. You can send me your extra resin. You have no idea how much extra resin I have. I mean, so I have a couple bottles there. I have a couple bottles there. A couple bottles there. I have bottles upon bottles upon bottles upon bottles upon bottles. Then I have more bottles down there. Kind of an addiction. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and get this all set up here. I don't think I got any bottles open of 8K resin, so we're just going to use what we got. Actually, you know what? I do have 8K resin open. It's in here. Yes, even though this is a metal can, it is 8K resin, I swear. I make do with what I have. All right. So let's go ahead and see what's on the print here. So we're going to go, well, first off, let's go to info. Let's go to printer info. Let's turn the sound off. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. So we really only have 2 files on here. Should we do the test print or should we do the Rook? Let me know what you guys want to see. Just ordered some Anycubic resin. Is there a resin you would recommend for my printer? Anycubic will be good. If you want cheap resin, that's pretty good. Sunlu's pretty good. But Anycubic, Elegoo, I mean, really any resin is going to be about the same. So, let's see. What should I do? Should I do test print or should I do the XP finder? The test print is a Rook, which is what everybody does, but this is the Phrozen Rook, not the Elegoo Rook. Which one should I do? We got 2 for test prints. So Rook or test print? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Fish, tiger, best toe, $50 let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Something else. Oh, so you want me to load up? You know what? We could load up a file. Should we load up a file? Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. Here, we'll load up a different file. How about that? Something else. All right, let's do something else, actually. Let's do... I have some new files I just downloaded, too. So let's go to my files section. Let's go to my downloads, and let's go to... Yo ho ho, it's magic, you know. Yeah, we'll do that. That's perfect. Settings. Let's do mini 8KS. Got aqua gray. We're going to scale it down, scale to fit. We're going to do a articulating hammerhead shark. That's what we're going to do. We're going to slice it. It's going to take on stock settings about 2 hours and 36 minutes. So let's go ahead and save this. Okay. Hopefully that saves. It should. So we'll do an articulated hammerhead shark. I don't really have too many Star Wars stuff. I do have a cool one that I need to print. It's a Jawa one, but I'm going to wait for that one because it's kind of a larger print. Waiting for it to slice this file really quick. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and write successful. in the operation. All right. So now let's go ahead and do that. So this is an articulating shark that it's going to print. So everything's good. We're not going to level it. It should be good, leveled from the factory. We're going to hit go. We should see you done in about 2 hours and 36 minutes. Now, I'm not going to keep the stream going at that point. We're just going to, maybe chat a little bit more about this printer and let you guys know what it does and where you guys can find it. And we'll go from there. So let me close this down. Yes, I would like to quit. We're going to do some speed settings on that and see if we can get it faster. We're going to bring this back over here. We're going to bring you guys back to me. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at some specifications. All right. So as of right now, if you guys are interested in buying this printer, it is their budget printer. Now, when I say it's Phrozen's budget printer, it is maybe not as budget as Elegoo or Anycubic, but it is a budget printer for what you get. You have to think that this is an 8K resolution printer that you are getting for $349. And that's pretty good for the price that you pay for it. You have a far superior build quality than most of the printers out there. It has a good track record for the company itself. Again, I may be a little bit biased because much like Uncle Jesse, his sponsors are Elegoo. My sponsor would be more or less Phrozen. They send me stuff all the time to check out. So I may be a little bit more biased, but you guys have seen me go through several printers, and there's a reason why I keep these around. If they didn't really work, I wouldn't keep the machines around. It's again why you don't really see too many Elegoo products in my resin print farm, really ever, because they don't live up to what I need them to be. Like, I need them to be consistently running, consistently printing, have little issues, and I don't need to be messing with them at any point in time. So that's really, really important to having a resin print farm, is consistency. So I'm not here to mess around with stuff and fix things and have to deal with re-leveling constantly. I don't have time to do that type of stuff. Like, if I level a machine, it should be good for the life of the machine, in my opinion. So I'll be back. Have to drive home now. What's GA and Nico? Nico Designs. Nico or GA? Galaxy Armor, Galactic Armory. Sorry, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah. So in terms of a price, yes, it is a little bit more pricey than your standard printers, but it is a very, very high resolution. It is a very well-built printer. I would definitely suggest this for a first-time printer for anybody who's looking to get into resin printing. It is far superior in every single way. Let's see what we got here in terms of information. So comparing this between the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8K and the Mini 8KS. So the file format apparently is open format.prz, so that's a Phrozen specific file format, whereas the 8K is CTB, which was strange because I swore that said that it was a CTB, but I'm wrong. No, it is a PRZ. Other than that, slicing software is the same. Printer size is exactly the same. It is 29 by 29 by 43 centimeters. They both have a 22 micron resolution. The print volume is slightly different, not much. So the print volume on this one is 16.5 by 7.2 by 17 centimeters. whereas the 8K is 16 and a half, 7.2, and 18 centimeters. So you have 1 centimeter height over on the 8K than you do the 8KS. Again, that's the difference because you're going from a dual linear rail setup to a single linear rail setup. The weight is vastly different on this printer than it is the other one. You save yourself 2 kilograms of weight, which, some may say is a lot. Some may say it's minute. My opinion, I don't really notice that much of a difference between either of them. But hey, if you're looking for a lighter printer, okay, then the Mini 8KS. It does have a single linear rail, as I said, whereas the 8K has a dual linear rail. The USB ports are different on these. So on the 8K, it is on the front here, on the front right. And then on the Mini 8KS, it is on the left-hand side. It's not the end of the world because I actually have these nifty adapters that I bought for everything. I saw somebody use them, and these are really, really cool to have. And you can buy them in all different types of orientations and whatnot. I mostly bought mine in the upper rotation. So you slide this in and then you can slide it up. And this stays in the printer. So you can have different orientations. So I can actually have one that's like this where it's off to the side. So it's more of a flat form factor. And the USB isn't sticking directly out of the printer. I have this pretty much on all of the printers that have this side USB because I need to confine as much space as I possibly can. So it's really nice to have that. The metal VAT is exactly the same. And the build plate is almost the same. The only difference is this plate, the actual grabbing part of the plate, they put some ridges on here so it's not a flat surface like the original was. The 8K is. So, but other than that, everything else is exactly the same in terms of the size and the layers and what it can print at. You can go all the way from 0.1 millimeters thickness to basically what would be considered a 0.3 millimeter nozzle. So if you really wanted to print at an FDM rate and match the quality of FDM, or it would probably still be better than FDM, I could definitely do a comparison print. The highest this will let you go is essentially what a 0.3 millimeter nozzle would do. So if I set this at the highest, this print that is 2 hours and 36 minutes, it would probably go down to 45 minutes, just because the layers are higher. There's less time that it needs to print. So you can still probably gain the same type of quality on this printer while using a higher resolution. So I might do a little video about that where we do a low resolution or a high resolution to a low resolution, basically going the spectrum of what the machine can do, and show people that in terms of resin quality, I really don't see a difference between layer heights, in my opinion. It really boils down to your camera and how you do your angles and stuff like that and your photo editing. But the naked eye will probably not notice the difference between the two, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all I need to say for you guys. I know they were having some deals on here, so let's take a look if they still have these deals going on. They used to have one where it was the printer, the wash and cure, and I think it was a bottle of resin for about $500, which was a fantastic setup. So we're gonna add this to the cart. We're gonna go ahead and add their wash. So Phrozen has not just a wash and cure; they have a wash, dry, and cure. So it's slightly different. I'm not saying it's the greatest, but if you're using a small printer like this, it's probably going to be the best one out there. And for $200, it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, basically that plus a bottle of resin. Let's do an 8K resin. Let's just do a standard aqua gray. So buying this all from Phrozen, basically everything, all you need is just your wash. You're coming in at $589. The printer, their wash and cure station, which is probably better than the Anycubic and Elegoo ones that are out there because it's a wash, dry, and cure. It's coming in at $589 with a single bottle of resin. So that's still very, very good. Now, obviously, that's not including taxes or anything like that, shipping fees, what have you. But that's still a very, very good. That's a very good price, in my opinion, for what you're paying for. So, and he disappeared into the wind. I hope you guys are still here. I don't see. Let's see here. Facebook. Okay. Yeah, everybody else is still here. So that's pretty much it. It's a very simple printer. It is a smaller printer, and it doesn't really take up a lot of room, but it gives you a very high quality and a high resolution setup. So if you're looking for probably what I would consider the best starter printer that money can buy, this is going to be it. If you're not looking to spend a lot of money on a big printer. So really, really look into the prices of it. And I know in terms of price, you're going to be like, well, there's other printers in that price range. You can go ahead and go with those other printers. But I'm telling you right now, Phrozen is on a different tier when it comes to quality of their printers and the way that they build things. I really have a lot of faith in terms of their printers and just their company in general. They go a little bit above and beyond. And what's even greater about them is they have an entire website dedicated to help people getting into resin printing. So if I'm even not around, just log on to the Phrozen website, and there's a whole slew of things that you can learn from Phrozen that they've done. You know, how to read a Phrozen XP calibration tool, how to properly tune your resin, how to do supports, how to do this, how to do that. They have a whole Wikipedia basically of that. So it's really, really nice of them to have that type of stuff for new users. And a lot of people don't know about that either. So I don't really promote it. But another thing, like I said, go and check out, what did I do with that? Their website for miniatures. So if you guys are interested in miniatures, go and check them out at this, which is called Pixup. So look that up, and you guys will be able to see that they have a lot of miniatures and stuff like that. So you can have all kinds of cool stuff on there. So it's kind of like My Mini Factory kind of type thing. I know one of my fellow friends, he does a lot of work on there. So he works with them very well. I believe his name was Dark Gods. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I know there's not a lot of people asking questions or anything like that, so I hope you guys like the initial unboxing. And again, if you guys are interested in purchasing this printer, there is a link down below in the description to purchase this directly from Phrozen's website, because that is the only place that you can currently buy this right now. I'm sure in due time they will ship these to Amazon, so that way people can buy them from Amazon. But right now it is only exclusively available on the Phrozen 3D website. So head over there, check out their stuff. Like I said, they got a whole other library of stuff to help out people, and it just makes it a lot easier for the first-time users to get into resin printing. So other than that, that's really all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this live unboxing. We will be test printing with this probably for about 2 weeks or so. We'll do some big prints, small prints, medium, whatever we can possibly throw at it. Different resins, change profiles. We're going to do some speed settings on this and test that out, see how it goes. But yeah, essentially, we'll do a little bit of printing with this for a little while. So you guys will see a lot of content coming out with the Phrozen Sonic Mini 8KS here in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. And don't forget to like and follow for that type of content if you haven't already. So till next time, guys, happy printing.